Good morning, class. I've got another Horrid Henry for you. This one's called Horrid Henry's Olympics. Chomp, 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 chomp. Bleh. Horrid Henry scoffed the last crumb of super spicy hedgehog chips and burped again. So yummy. Wow. He'd eaten the entire pack in 17 seconds. No one could guzzle chips faster than Horrid Henry, especially when he was having to gobble them secretly in class. He'd never been caught, not even. A dark, icy shadow fell across him. "Are you eating in class, Henry?" hissed Miss Battleaxe. "No," said Henry. Tee-hee. Thanks to his super speedy jaws, he'd already swallowed the evidence. "Then where did this chip packet come from?" said Miss Battleaxe, pointing to the plastic bag on the floor. Henry shrugged. "Bert, is this yours?" "Oh," said Beefy Bert. "There is no eating in class," said Miss Battleaxe. Why did she have to say the same things over and over? One day the Queen would discover that she, Boudica Battleaxe, was her long-lost daughter and sweep her off to the palace where she would live a life of pampered luxury. But until then... Now, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, she glared at Horrid Henry, our school will be having its very own Olympics. We'll be running and jumping and swimming and eating, yelled Horrid Henry. Quiet, Henry, snapped Miss Battleaxe. I want all of you to practice hard, both in school and out, to show... Horrid Henry stopped listening. It was so unfair. Wasn't it bad enough that every morning he had to heave his heavy bones out of bed to go to school without wasting any of his precious TV watching time running and jumping and swimming? He was a terrible runner. He was a pathetic jumper. He was a hopeless swimmer, though he did have his 5-meter badge. Besides, Aerobic Al was sure to win every medal. In fact, they should just give them all to him now and save everybody a load of bother. Shame, thought Horrid Henry, that the things he was so good at never got prizes. If there was a medal for who could watch the TV the longest, or who could eat the most candy, or who was quickest out of the classroom door when the last bell rang, well, he'd be covered in gold from head to toe. Go on, Susan, jump higher. I'm jumping as high as I can, said Sour Susan. That's not high, said Moody Margaret. A tortoise could jump higher than you. Well, then get a tortoise, snapped Susan sourly. You're just a lazy lump. You're just a moody meanie. Lump, meanie, lump, meanie. Slap, slap. What you doing? Asked Horrid Henry, leaning over the garden wall. Go away, Henry, said Margaret. Yeah, Henry, said Susan. I can stand in my own yard if I want to, said Henry. Just ignore him, said Margaret. We're practicing for the school Olympics, said Susan. Horrid Henry snorted. I don't see you practicing, said Margaret. That's because I'm doing my own Olympics, frog face, said Henry. His jaw dropped. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Why hadn't he thought of this before? Of course he should set up his own Olympics and have the competitions that he'd always want to have. A name-calling competition, a chocolate-eating competition, a chip-eating competition, a who could watch the most TVs at the same time competition. He'd make sure he had competitions that he could win. The Henry Olympics, the Holympics. And the prizes would be masses and masses of chocolate. Can Ted and Gordon and I be in your Olympics? Said Perfect Peter. I need to roll that back, don't I? Can Ted and Gordon and I be in your Olympics? Said Perfect Peter. That's better, right? No, said Henry, who'd want some diaper babies competing. They'd spoil everything. Wait a minute. Of course you can, Peter, said Henry smoothly. That'll be $1 each. Why? Said Ted. To pay for the super fantastic prizes, of course, said Henry. Each champion will win a massive prize of chocolate. Peter's face fell. Oh, he said. And a medal, added Henry quickly. Oh, said Peter, beaming. How massive, said Margaret. Armfuls and armfuls, said Horrid Henry. His mouth watered just thinking of it. Said Margaret. Well, I think there should be a speed haircutting competition and dancing. Dancing, said Henry. Well, why not? He was a marvelous dancer. His elephant stomp would win any competition hands down. Okay. Margaret and Susan plonked down $1 each. By the way, that's ballroom dancing, said Margaret. No way, said Henry. No ballroom dancing, then we won't enter, said Margaret. And Linda and Gurinder and Kate and Fiona and Soraya won't either. Horrid Henry considered. He was sure to win everything else, so why not let her have a tiny victory? And the more people who entered, the more chocolate for him. Okay, said Henry. Bet you're scared I'll win everything, said Margaret. Am not. Are too. I can eat more candy than you any day. Ha! Said Margaret. I'd like to see you try. The Purple Hand Gang can beat the Secret Club and the Best Boys Club. No sweat, said Horrid Henry. Bring it on. Check that out. The real Olympics are here. Tired of boring old swimming and running? Of course you are. Now's your chance to compete in the Olympics, the greatest Olympics of all time. Speed eating candy, TV watching, chip eating, burp to the beat, ballroom dancing, speed haircutting. Entry fee $1 for the chance to win loads of chocolate. You see how he put the stuff he doesn't really care about real tiny? What a stinker. Hang on, said Margaret. What's with this? What's with calling this the Olympics? It should be the Molympics. I came up with the haircutting and dancing competitions. Because Molympics is a terrible name, said Henry. So's Olympics, said Margaret. Actually, said Peter, I think it should be called the Polympics. S.U. worm. Shut up, I can't say it. S.U. worm, said Henry. Yeah, worm, said Margaret. Mom! Screamed Henry. Mom! Mom came running out of the shower. What is it, Henry? She said, dripping water all over the floor. Are you all right? I need candy, he said. You got me out of the shower because you need candy? She repeated. I need to practice for the candy speed eating competition, said Henry. For my Olympics. Absolutely not, said Mom. Horrid Henry was outraged. How am I supposed to win if I can't practice? He howled. You're always telling me to practice stuff, and now when I want to, you won't let me. Look at poor Mom. She thought he was hurt or something, didn't she? Some kind of an emergency. That's not very nice. Bookings for Henry's Olympics were brisk. Everyone in Henry's class, and a few from Peter's, wanted to compete. Horrid Henry gazed happily at the $45 worth of chocolate and chips piled high on his bed. Wow. Mega wow. Boxes and boxes and boxes filled with yummy, yummy sweets. Giant bar after giant bar of chocolate. His Olympics would have the best prizes ever. And he, Henry, fully expected to win most of them. He'd win enough chocolate to last him a lifetime and have the glory of coming first for once. Horrid Henry gazed at the chocolate prize mountain. Look at it. It doesn't fit on the screen hardly. The chocolate prize mountain gazed back at him and winked. Wait. He, Henry, was doing all the work. Surely it was only fair if he got something for his valuable time. He should have kept a bit of money back to cover his expenses. Horrid Henry removed a giant chocolate bar from the pile. After all, I do need to practice for the speed eating contest, he thought, tearing off the wrapper and shoving a massive piece into his mouth. And then another. Uh-oh. Oh boy, was that chocolate yummy. In a few seconds, it was gone. Yeah, Horrid Henry, chocolate-eating champion of the universe. You know, thought Henry, gazing at the chocolate mound teetering precariously on his bed, I think I bought too many prizes, and I do need to practice for my tent. What a great day, thought Horrid Henry happily. He'd won the candy speed eating competition, though Greedy Graham had come a close second. The chip eating contest and the name calling one. Peter had run off screaming when Henry called him Wibble Wobble Pants, Nappy Noodle, and Odiferous. Rude Ralph won the Burp to the Beat. Margaret and Susan won Best Ballroom Dancers. Vain Violet was the surprise winner of the speed haircutting competition. Weepy William, well, his hair would grow back eventually. Poor William. Best of all, Aerobic Al didn't win a thing. The winners gathered around to collect their prizes. "Where's my chocolate, Henry?" said Moody Margaret. "And there better be loads like you promised," said Vain Violet. Horrid Henry reached into the big prize bag. Now, where was the ballroom dancing prize? He pulled out a Choco Blocko. Yikes. Was that all the chocolate he had left? He rummaged around some more. "A Choco Blocko," said Margaret slowly. "A single Choco Blocko?" "They're very yummy," said Henry. "And mine?" said Violet. "Yeah, and mine," said Ralph. "And mine for coming second," said Graham. "You're supposed to share it!" "Ah!" screamed Horrid Henry as he turned and ran. Wow, thought Horrid Henry as he fled down the road. Rude Ralph, Moody Margaret, Sour Susan, Vain Violet, and Greedy Graham chasing after him. I'm pretty fast when I need to be. Maybe I should enter the School Olympics after all. Da, 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 da.